All right, well, you see in the background a big van, and here's the man behind the van with a big smile, Leon. So before we talk about the van here, and you guys know I'm going to a van life expo in Grenoble, France, and I'm really doing a segment on maybe the differences and similarities in van life culture, the equipment, the spirit between America and Europe. And let me just show you a little bit about our culture here in South Mississippi. So this is coastal Mississippi. I just got off work in the bike shop and met up with Leon down here. Leon said, hey man, don't be in a hurry, I'm just chilling. And that's part of van life, is just being able to chill. I use my little van, and I'm gonna do a little video on my little van. I tell people, this is where I relax, this is my happy place. Don't be in a hurry. So it's so cool having what you want. Sometimes, you know, I've had like a station wagon, I've had some different things, and you carry a box of shoes and a shirt and maybe a cooler with some snacks, but I like my van because I can carry everything I need to happily hang out.
Yeah, anything that'll get you out there. Any car, your bicycle, your van, get outside and enjoy it. We're out here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. It's beautiful. We got a fitness class going on right down the beach.
You know, we're gonna have an awesome sunset too.
Yeah, that's right. You probably will shortly with all these clouds.
So I'm going to do more on what we have in coastal Mississippi. Look at that beautiful oak tree. Like, I never get tired of this stuff.
That's right.
But just like, you know, people see a big van like that and they're like, yeah, American, closed-minded, the bigger the better. But it's not, if you guys knew.
Here's the gist of it right here.
Ask your doctor if getting off the couch is right for you. And that's what Leon screams. So, you know, sometimes people might have they see a big van like this and they get the idea right away. Well, we're ready to smash those ideas. And yes, we like big stuff. We like boisterous, you know, but we also we're cultural. Leon grew up here in coastal Mississippi, but Leon's also traveled the world. And we were just talking about how sometimes when we tell people, hey, we're from Mississippi, all of a sudden they've got that stigma. Well, Leon is an author.
Well, this is, and the area here along the coast is a little bit of an outlier, or not a little bit, it is an outlier from our Mississippi reputation. Sure. It's a completely different culture, completely different people, and you know, so it's a different place.
And I'm glad you're different, Leon. Like you, now, I'm not going to talk about Leon's financial situation, but Leon has worked hard and done well. Leon could go buy a brand new Mercedes Sprinter off the showroom floor, but his brain said, I want to do something different. I want to do something unique. And he did something to travel the world. So once again, on the back of Leon's van, see that compass right there? Leon didn't make this to just hang out in coastal Mississippi.
That's right.
You know, Leon wants to travel the world. So you guys can think what you want by first glances, but let me show you a little bit about the inside of what Leon and I do. Now, my van is almost the opposite of Leon. I haven't played my cards quite as right financially. So mine is a camper van on the cheap. Yours is a
but it
custom
does the same
van.
thing. It gets you outside. That's the main thing people need to know is get outside.
Get outside.
And enjoy it. Whatever you have, get outside. Put some pillows in your trunk and go out somewhere to enjoy it.
I tell people, you know, I use my van on a weekly basis. Like, I'm constantly using my little van, even though it is a little van without all these amenities. And I said, I only know one person that uses their van maybe a little bit more than me, and that's Leon. You know, and I have to say, Leon is friendly. Like, I'll show up and I think I'm doing good because I've got a Pop-Tart and some nuts and a cooler, and I feel like, man, I've got food, I've got drink. And Leon will cook me a gourmet breakfast out of this thing.
Feed people. I'll show you the.
When I first saw the van, Leon was making the oh, look at this. Now, when I was a kid, my dad gave me a truck for Christmas. I think it was a van, and it had a motorcycle trailer and a canoe on top. And that stuck with me, you know, as a kid. I'm like, you know, I want to carry my stuff. And as you can see, Leon's got a barbecue pit that rolls right out. Of course, you know, he's got a heat shield and he's got a cooler.
It's a backup cooler of another cooler there. There's a fridge in there, Got my mountain bikes in here, my surfboard. If I'm going north, that's my snowboard up there, and kayaks on the roof. This is a whole outdoor kitchen here. And
he's got, of course, DeWalt fans, so this is a kitchen. So when I talk about Southern hospitality, Leon Leon can pretty much park anywhere and cook anything. Now, Leon buys good food.
Yeah,
like, you cooked some brisket on the back of this thing one day that was fantastic, so.
We eat good food down here in Mississippi.
We do eat good food.
It's not real healthy food. We just exercise to make up for it.
Yeah, we do a lot of exercise. And you can tell, look at Leon. He's healthy looking, you know. Yeah. And I know Leon leads a healthy lifestyle.
Social Security in 3 months.
That's awesome, Leon. And this is a cool cabinet system that you...
Yeah, so this is my pantry. This all matches when we go inside. You'll see this matches the cabinetry on the inside of the van.
Matching's cool.
Yeah.
You know, I think every once in a while I've seen you take a date or two on one of these vans, and it's nice when everything matches because girls notice that.
Yeah.
What is this, Leon?
That's a drying rack from my.
But you had a little stove or something in there.
Oh, that's an oven.
Oh.
So that's an oven that docks. It actually docks onto the top of a stove.
Oh, okay.
So I have an electric oven. It's a air fryer, microwave, convection oven, but this one sits on either one of these burners. So you can use it without using electricity.
Okay.
I've got 600 amp hours of lithium. I've got 400 watts of solar on the roof, and I have a generator. But the less of the lithium I can use, the better.
Right.
That runs my air conditioner and stuff at night when I'm camping.
Well, it's nice that you have multiple fuels.
Yeah, there's a backup and a backup and a backup for the backup.
And Leon has made me an amazing smoothie out of that.
We just did that last week down here on the beach.
And it was all fresh fruit that you gave me.
Yeah. We just made them down here on the beach last
Pressure
weekend.
cooker?
Yeah, that's to finish my pork shoulders in when I was smoking.
And you guys do notice right on top is the kayak. So, if, you know, Leon, like I said, he's friendly with his food, but he likes, even though he gets outside, he preaches getting outside and he shows people. So a lot of people might not have a kayak, and Leon says, come kayaking with me. I got a kayak, I got an extra mountain bike.
We had some little girls that sank the kayak like 4 times last week.
That's awesome.
In here, keep all my hiking stuff.
Okay.
I've got a washer and dryer in here for when I'm on long-term trips in the wilderness and I don't want to have to come back to civilization to wash my clothes.
Right. Speaking of washing, Leon, I know your style. Everybody's is a little particular about some things. Leon likes taking a shower at night.
Hey, that's right.
You know, sometimes I can go without a shower, but not Leon.
No, we got a shower outside. I've got a full 36-inch fold-out shower inside. So this fridge is it's an inside-outside fridge. It's in the outside position right now. This hatch, you pull it out, turn it around, push it back in, and I have access to it from inside the van.
That's awesome.
And then you close
so it's on a swivel.
You can drive down the road, yeah.
And I've seen the swivel works. I've seen Leon pull up to the mountain bike park, and then next thing you know, he swivels this thing around. And he's got a cooler with cold drinks for everybody.
Yeah.
And outside, a little outside sink.
Yeah. There's a full kitchen inside if you ever need it. I never use it because it just stinks up all the bed and everything. And then I do all my cooking and stuff out here.
If it was raining and you didn't want to put your awning out, I mean, you could cook inside.
You could. I just make a sandwich or something.
And all this you made all this.
Yeah. I built the whole thing. The only thing that I didn't do is I did all the engineering. I did the fab work. I paid someone to do all the welding. That would kill me if I was driving down the interstate and it broke.
Right.
Everything else I did. This is Sugibot.
So Sugibot, yes.
So this you piece all this in here and number it, and then you take it out and you set it all on fire and sand it down and then and stain it, and that's what makes this grain pop like this. It's all in the
It is beautiful. I mean, beautiful.
Yeah, and the seats aren't swiveled now, but they do swivel around. So I've got a little condensation pit there. You can climb in there. Let me see if I can turn the lights on. Go ahead, son.
All right, I'm going to show you guys the inside of Leon's van here. And what type of van is this, Leon?
It's a Ford Econoline. It was an E250, but now it's like an E650.
And I know you got a new motor going in this thing.
Super duper duty, I guess.
Yeah, super duper duty. And you did a lot of the engineering, so I'm going to crawl underneath this van and show you guys some of the suspension. It's big, but it's functional.
It's functional, but it's very overbuilt so that hopefully there's no problems when I'm off-road. And it gets off-road and gets beat up quite a bit, actually. It doesn't get babied.
Got your walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
And of course, you've got your custom panel here for...
Yeah, this is the turn the camera around. I'll turn this on.
Oh yeah, wow, look at that.
For when we're
disco lights.
When we're in beach mode.
And I run into Leon, unplanned sometimes. Leon's parked somewhere, and I love showing people the van, especially at night, because I'll say, turn on the disco lights.
Yeah, yeah.
And this thing, around 30-something speakers.
Yeah, yeah.
30-something speakers in this thing. Oh, man, and that's comfortable. Like, that just makes you want to just sit down with a girl and snuggle up.
Yeah, it's a good place to chill out.
Yeah,
Take a nap.
nice place to chill out. And you do have a sunlight here.
Yeah.
So, and then I see the fan, and you've got a little shower if you wanted
so
to.
This is my indoor shower. I call this a Murphy shower. This folds out, this folds up, and this whole pan folds down. And so this whole thing turns into a shower. It's a full 36-inch shower. There's a pan in there,
That's
and a drain,
awesome.
and a pump. And there's also a toilet in there, which I've never used. I have had guests use the shower when it's really cold.
Right.
I don't use it. It gets it all steamy in here. And actually, there's a cover that goes over. This is the back of the fridge. You see it now. There's a cover that Velcros on here. I should have put it on before the video.
Yeah, that's all right.
Whatever.
We're seeing. I mean, I think this is
the
interesting.
Yeah.
You got your fans up there.
Yeah.
I've never
Fans
been.
to blow on this after you use it to keep it from mildewing. So
Leon's definitely a manly man, so he probably doesn't let men sit on his chair very often.
no,
but since I'm doing, he's got like different controls here
that's
for
the diesel heater.
Diesel heater. You
here,
got
and
your
then,
plug-in for your charging. Speakers back here.
I've got a screen that goes either on this side or this side, depending on which side of the bed I'll just sleep with whatever side that is the highest. And this comes down, the screen hangs there. I've got Starlink internet, so I've got internet everywhere I go.
I like this window too.
Watch a movie at night or something.
This is more comfortable than my van.
Yeah,
I'll show you guys my van. I've got a dorm bed in my van. And I'm not complaining. You know, I think my van has feelings, so I'm not complaining about it.
Cool,
but someday I want to grow up and have something like this. But this is one of a kind. Like, you can't just buy this.
No, there's not many people built something this ridiculous.
No, so you got a heater.
Yeah, I have a forced air heater that has the thermostat, but this is so like if it's cold and you want the doors open and that's kind of like my fireplace.
Okay, awesome.
It really puts out a lot of heat.
And this is comfortable, you know, I dream about having a little work spot like this. I've got a little table I've engineered into my van, but this you could actually,
Yeah, and when you turn that seat around, then you can, people can eat there if it's raining or something. I don't, spend a whole lot of time where it's raining. That's what the round rubber things are for.
Right.
If the weather's bad, you drive off and go somewhere else.
Right.
But,
yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, it was fun to build, and it's definitely been fun to use.
And you can see, this like Leon says, this is all matching.
And this is so this sink is actually on a coffee table lid, so it's down in this position, so you can see out the window. But then when you use it, let's see if I can find the release. You can
look at that.
pick it up, so it's at a regular sink height.
That's awesome, Leon. You put a lot of thought into this.
I don't use that either. The only thing I do in this sink pretty much is brush my teeth at night.
Right.
Everything else is done outside.
Quite a vision, Leon. And I know some of these things, as you start building, you get ideas and you keep going. But obviously, you've got an engineering mind.
Yeah,
so I'll call Leon an Arthur,
with the
speaker,
plan.
Arthur, engineer.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I'm a certified contraptioneer.
I love hanging around Leon. You hear these cool one-liners,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I like building stuff, and this was it was a fun build, and I like camping, so that worked out really good.
Well, I see speakers under the bed, amplifier. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna be curious to see what I see in Europe. And I know there's a lot of interesting people all over the world. Leon and I both have open minds.
Back, I'll incorporate them into the big.
Yes, that's what's nice about having an open mind.
Yeah.
I want to know more about the European culture, and we see a lot of Europeans over here camping. We camp at a place called Bethel. And Bethel's on the map as a free camping spot. We go out there to mountain bike ride, and Leon cuts himself way back into the woods sometimes. So we meet a lot of cool Europeans.
Yeah. We have,
And I think we surprise them, the culture that we have down here in coastal Mississippi.
Well, they're expecting the Mississippi that they read about.
Right. And we have that, which is nice.
We do.
But we have.
It's our history. Yeah, that's right. It's here.
I like going up in the Delta and going to the little juke joints.
There's some food up there.
There's some food and some blues and
some good culture and some bad culture still existing up there.
Exactly.
But hopefully that's we're weeding that out a little at a time.
Weeding that out a little bit. So, and I see you got the honey in here.
Yeah.
All the good stuff, Leon.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Let's walk around on the other side. I want to show them, like this this van keeps going. Like this van tour can go and go and go, but it is an interesting, I see Fox shocks down here.
Yeah.
I see the backup lights.
Because the backup lights behind it just shine behind it, and I couldn't see the back of my trailer, so they shine down the side. I've got 640,000 lumens of LED light bars on the roof all the way around.
You guys look at this. You want some lights? And I know there's a big horn up there, because every once in a while they'll beep the horn at me.
And I've got a winch on the front and a winch on the back, and I participated in a show that Land Rover put on, so I thought that they would, Land Rover makes a Defender, so I thought that they would get a kick out of this
offender.
Land Rover offender.
And just take a quick look underneath, like everything is heavy duty. Some people build things for show, and there's nothing wrong with that, but this is built for go. Like this thing is, look at the headlight. I mean, it's an awesome looking headlight there.
It's on airbags, so I can raise it up another 6 inches with my phone if I need to cross deep water or something. It's got locking differentials front and back, just like a military truck, 538 gears. The trailer steers. I have rear steer on the trailer. I can steer it from inside the van.
Wow.
I've got a joystick here on my armrest that steers the trailer. That hatch opens to vent my air conditioner.
Okay.
It's electric.
How cool.
And then this side is a whole workshop.
Right, and you see some recovery right here?
If I've been stuck in the middle of the beach or something where there's nothing to get my winch a hold of, that's to get me out. Fortunately, I've never had to use that.
I see air tank up there, and of course the side lights.
There's air tanks on both sides up in the top, and then there's 2 more down on the bottom. And then I've got storage up here. This diesel here is for my diesel heater.
That's what and it looks cool too.
Yeah, this is a propane.
Oh, that's propane.
Diesel here,
okay, all right.
And then that is actually going to be for gas, because when I have changed to the diesel engine, my generator runs on gas.
Oh, right.
So that's going to have to run the generator.
Okay.
And then I'll keep these 2 separate for my diesel heater, so I'm not running off my.
You got a rope ladder. Yeah, it goes up, and I take it all this is custom.
Yeah. I had all that made of the place here in town, saltwater fabrication building.
Yeah, I was going to say that they do a lot of for the boats.
Yeah.
We're on the saltwabbr Mississippi, so we get a lot of cool.
Job, yeah.
They
built all the hatches for this, all the aluminum. Actually, they're the ones that did all the welding after I fabbed it.
And see, that's Leon can weld, but he's smart enough to say, you know, if it can kill me.
Well, they taught me to weld, actually. I couldn't weld before that. When I was paying them, I was also taking lessons.
Awesome.
I was double dipping.
Right. Well, you might have to weld something out on the trail.
And I have a welding machine in here in case something breaks. And there are some things on here that aren't life dependent that I have welded. It's actually pretty cool to know how to do that.
This is a custom exhaust for the
one's for the engine, one's for the generator, one's for the diesel heater. The other one is for a loop that goes under my water tank to keep my water tank from freezing with the diesel heater exhaust.
Wow, that's smart.
So I'm using the exhaust to
look at the brakes on that thing.
Yeah, those are new.
You got some big brakes.
When I went to the mountains the first time, it didn't like it. The brakes got overheated. I had to put those 6-piston calipers on.
It's 6-piston like a Brembo brake.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a
SPC. They're the Brembo equivalent for big trucks. It's a long arm 4-link, so the suspension and all the components on here are exactly the same components that they have on those trucks they jump cars with at the Coliseum. The axles aren't the same, but all of the suspension components and links and everything are exactly what they have on those, so they're probably not going to break.
Now you put some storage under here.
That's my sewer drain hose.
Oh,
to
smart.
dump the sewer tank.
Okay.
That was the black water tank for the toilet.
Man,
I don't have a gray water tank. The gray water just runs on the ground because I'm always out in the woods.
Right.
But if I had to, I have a bucket I can put under it to catch it.
What size tires are those, Leon?
38 1550s.
Gee, 38 1550s.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I just bought 2 brand new ones today.
And you know, a lot of people ask me why you've got one axle up in the air, but I told them so you have a spare. Yep. So it's a spare axle.
A functioning axle, so it serves as a breakover axle. When I'm off-roading, I go in a deep ditch or over a steep incline, it keeps me from high centering.
Okay.
But I was trying to keep my center of gravity as low as possible. And so these tires were heavy. I didn't want them up on the roof.
Right.
And plus, you don't want to have to try to get them down from the roof.
No, smart thinking.
This is a whole workshop in here. I've got every tool I would ever need. I've got tons of spare parts. The welding machine, there's a built-in pressure washer. So when I get through the woods where I'm going to camp, I can clean it off and then enjoy myself.
Right.
Not get dirt.
I've seen you have a blower in there, because I remember one time when you camped under some beautiful oak trees for like a 4th of July.
Yeah.
And it was tall grass. And Leon ended up cutting the grass.
Yeah, I've got a weed eater in
making
there.
it comfortable, blowing everything off, laying a little carpet down. Like, you made it very comfortable for us.
Yeah.
And see, this just slides right back in.
And then I've got a full total gym right here. So if I'm out in the woods like that, on that Florida trip, I was out in the wilderness for quite a bit of time and didn't want to leave to go to a gym. So I got the ability to do full body workouts wherever I am. I set that up on the couple of secluded beaches. It was amazing.
That's all. And I see you got a rear winch.
Yeah. You need a rear winch, actually. Sometimes if you're going forward and you get stuck, it doesn't always make sense to keep going that direction.
Right.
You need to come back and rethink the situation sometimes.
You got 2 mountain bikes, so one for him, one for a friend.
Yeah.
And everything tucks in there.
I've got 2 of everything. So I got 2 kayaks, 2 mountain bikes, only 1 surfboard. But...
And then here's the rear suspension here, and I see that's how the rear steering works right there.
Yeah, that's all the hydraulics. It's electric over hydraulic rear steering.
Did you do a lot of off-roading before you built this?
Not really.
Not really?
Some when I was younger, but not a whole lot, no. It's just always been, the idea of camping in a campground, first of all, that's not camping.
Right. Right. We do it in a pinch.
Yeah. We live in a house and we have acres of land around us, and you go camping and you can hear the person next to you snoring. That's not camping. So when I decided I wanted to build something, I want to be able where I can get where no one can bother me.
And I've seen you cut yourself into that's why one of this recovery side's also for cutting himself in and out of the woods. And I've seen you trim the woods to get in there. I was riding my mountain bike once, and I pulled into a little spot where we hardly ever see it, where the woodpeckers are.
That's right.
And then all of a sudden Leon's there hanging out in his bed. Like, that is super cool.
Yeah, I made a road out there. Yeah, we camped out there for a couple of days and then rode bikes with you guys that weekend.
And we have a lot of I take a lot of tankcations, so I go on vacations within 1 tank of gas. And right here, I camp in my own county quite a bit.
Oh yeah,
there's
so much stuff here. And it's so funny because you run into people and are like, where do you use that? You have to go to California. I was like, we have a huge national forest like 15, 20 miles from here.
We do.
And then it goes on for miles and miles and miles. Right. And we don't have mountains, it's flat. But there's lakes and streams and creeks, and it's beautiful out there.
Now, you're kind of planning on staying on this continent, but I know you were just in Florida. And then I think there's a trip down into South America,
I was shipping the van down to South America. I've decided probably against that. I'm just going to fly down there and do that trip. I've been to the Arctic Circle. I want to go to Antarctica. And then I've been to New Zealand, going west. I want to go to Australia, going east, so that I can say I've been to the top and the bottom of the world and all the way around. That's right.
Well, the world deserves you. The world needs more people like you in it, Leon. Like, well, if you see Leon, there's a reason he's got a big smile, because he's a happy guy, and he likes to share his experiences with others, and he wants others to get off the couch.
That's right.
And make the world a better place.
That's right.
So I'm curious to see what I'm going to find in Europe.
Yeah, you're going to meet some amazing people.
I think I'll meet some amazing people.
They're going to be way more laid back and just relaxed, and I bet you'll see a bunch of simple, cool rigs.
I hope so.
People out enjoying the outdoors, because they've been doing outdoor stuff long before us.
Yeah.
And the thing with there is, it's so much better to travel there. You're an hour from this, an hour from the mountains, an hour from the beach, an hour. So if we want mountains, we're 6 hours, or we want everything is really compact there. So everybody I meet from over there just travels all the time, and it's a huge priority. Right. Even though their economy isn't as good as ours in some places, it's just a priority, and they prioritize their money, and they get outside.
They prioritize life.
Stuff. Yeah,
as far as I work a lot in the bike shop, being a bike shop owner, and I talk to some Europeans, and they're like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you get out and enjoy. So sometimes I work to live. They live. No, I've got that backwards.
Yeah.
They live. No, I live to work. It seems like, even though I've got this passion to go do stuff. Monetary wise, I don't make enough money.
Well, everybody was. I haven't always been able to do this.
Played your cards right.
I started out really poor, and I did nothing. I mean, for years and years, and it was an investment. That's you make an investment in your life, and and then you get to live however you want.
Right, and look at you right now. Out by the beach. It's absolutely beautiful weather.
Yeah.
They're getting ready for a sunset. Got yoga on the beach.
Yeah, well, actually, they're doing a HIIT class.
Oh, they are doing a HIIT class.
The interval training down there. She has a place down by Broome.
Oh, okay.
And she does this a couple of times a week out here. Really
nice
impressive girl.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
We've got Deer Island right there, Horn Island. I see the birds out there, so that means the fish are hitting right there, probably redfish or trout.
We do kayaking trips, overnight kayaking trips out there, 2 or 3 a year.
I have noticed you doing a lot with a kayak group lately.
Yeah, we did a big trip. Now I'm doing one in 2 months, I think. There might be 500 people there. Wow. It's a whole week thing. They have more and more people every year. They had 350 people last year. They're expecting 450 to 500 people.
Nice.
And it'll be a whole week of camping and kayaking and just sitting around the campfire and telling lies and hanging out.
Right. And this is a great way to do it too. I remember there was a kayak thing up at Flint Creek, and
that one we had about 50 people.
Yeah.
And we do that 2 or 3 times a year. There's a kayak club here, and then there's a kayak club in Louisiana, and we get together. They plan stuff together, and it turns out it's really fun.
It's, life is fun around here. My house is 7 miles from the bike shop, and sometimes I don't make it home.
Yeah.
I sleep in my van at the boat ramp, and people wonder why. I'm like, well, it's my happy spot.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I go home, I feel like I've got to do laundry, and I've got to cook, and I've got to clean, and when I'm in my van, it's kind of more simple.
Right.
I go to the Coon Street boat ramp, put out my little awning, put out my chair, my table, and just relax.
Paradise.
Yeah, paradise.
Yeah, that's the way when I was growing up, we were really poor. My parents had a hippie Volkswagen van, and that's where I got the bug. You know? And it's never changed. As a matter of fact, I have a picture of me standing beside that. I'll send it to you. Put it in the video. About this tall, standing beside that Volkswagen bus. Cool.
Well, I was looking at the flyer for this van show in Grenoble, France, and I might be mispronouncing it, Grenoble, but. It's all new to me, but I'm going to be Grenoble. I'll see you guys in Grenoble, France, in about a week.
Yeah, that's gonna be great.
What's happening, man? How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, looking good, man.
This is the Elvis of the Gulf Coast.
Right. Man, it's so good seeing you, man. Off to college.
I'll go say hi in a second. Do a little workout.
All right.
I'm coming to say hi.
All right.
I saw that van, by the way, on night. It looks sick.
Thank you.
We've got so many cool.
Yeah, that's our culture here.
Yeah, I met him at the
Everybody comes
YMCA
by.
years ago.
If they know you, they talk to you. If they don't know you, they talk to you.
Right. And this is quite a conversation piece.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
that's right.
have you met a lot of friends?
I had people flag me down on I-10 on the interstate, on the freeway. Pull over. Let me take some pictures of this thing.
Right. Well, that's one of the reasons I'm going all the way to France, because I like the van life culture. I've got a lot of different hobbies: bicycling, kayaking, boating. But van life is cool, and I meet some.
Kind of van life just really supports all of that.
It does.
You're outside. If you want a mountain bike, they're there. If you want a kayak, they're there. If you anything you do outside, this totally backs it up, because instead of just having to be able to go for a day, you can go for a week or a month or whatever.
And do multiple things. I mean, I throw my motorcycle, my kayak, my bicycle onto a trailer, and I pull it behind my van, and I've got pretty much.
You got all your toys.
Yeah, we got all my little toys. Because sometimes when you're on vacation, like let's say you're on vacation here, and you're walking and you see someone out on their boat, or someone like I like to be the guy out on the boat.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's kind of hard.
Sometimes that's us. Sometimes this is us.
It's hard to do it in a sedan.
Yeah, that's right.
And I know you've got this cool little sports car.
Yeah.
Little Jaguar, but it's old school.
It's a 1937 SS100. Yeah, that's my other beach vehicle.
Right. So it's cool to mix it up.
Yeah, that's right. I was out in it. Well, I went and drove it all the way to Fairhope for polo yesterday. They had a big polo tailgating party.
That's awesome.
And spent the whole day over there tailgating for the polo matches.
Sometimes you just got to get out of the box, and I know the pilots over there. That have the polo field, friends of mine. So.
Yeah. It wasn't at his field; it was at the other one. But he was there actually. He presented all the awards.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm a bicycle rider, so on the way here, someone was so surprised that I was on my e-bike. I'm like, look, man, you got to live life.
Yeah.
I had to park my van at the house and drive down and ride the bike
because there's hardly any parking.
Yeah, and I've got a trailer full of stuff.
Yeah.
So thank you for waiting, but it was kind of cool. Leon's like me, like, take your time.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying myself.
I'm gonna wait for the sunset. It's gonna be good. Look at
it. It's going to be a beautiful sunset. Well, guys, this is van life, Mississippi style.
Mississippi van life.
We are open to the European culture, to Asian culture, to all different cultures, but be welcome, be open to our culture too. So I'll put Leon's email address on this, and if you're curious about Leon.
We have Facebook. Look me up on Facebook.
Okay,
it's
Facebook.
The best thing. He can put my name on there and a link to my Facebook page.
Okay.
And actually, if you go to, well, you can't see it because the door's open, but it says bigvanoverland.earth.
Okay.
That will actually take you to my Facebook page.
Bigvanoverland.earth.
Yeah.
And I'm Bart from Bicycle Rider YouTube. And yeah, we do more than just bicycle ride. And get ready for more of this, because I've got some opportunities to go to Europe for a little bit and do some bicycling culture and some van culture. And you know, I talk about the differences between cultures, but really it's more about the similarities.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people just like us that are sitting over there. You know,
yeah, they just talk fancier than us.
They talk, yeah, they maybe smell a little bit nicer.
They look classier.
Well,
than
Leon
us.
smells good because he takes a shower every night. I can't say, even though I got a little box shower, I'll give you guys a van tour pretty soon in my van before we go. But yeah, from South Mississippi to you guys over there in Grenoble, France, Leon and I say hello, and you'll see me in person. And come to Mississippi and you can see Leon.
There you
We're
go.
real.
Or wherever I may be.
We don't make this stuff up.
That's right.
We don't make this stuff up. I've seen Leon. He was camping out at a place called POW camp, and he met someone that was camping as well out of their car.
Yeah.
Leon invited him over, took a shower. Of course, she was a pretty girl, but you know, that's how kind Leon is.
It wasn't really about that. It was about the traveling.
It was about the traveling.
She was traveling, and I've met many of travelers and let them come wash their clothes, wash their car, take a shower. You know, I've got rentals. If I have vacancies, I'll let them stay there for a couple of days. And yeah, we're all travelers. We gotta help each other out.
Smiles go a long way. So if you see this smile, just know it's coming from a good guy. All right, Bart and Leon, over and out for now. See you guys in France. Closing shot. I've been out here talking to Leon, and as we just sit out here by the van, we've already met so many interesting.
Yeah, probably 5 people we knew and 5 people we didn't.
Right. Now Leon's going to be out here
we know now.
checking out the sunset. It's going to be a beautiful sunset. Unfortunately, I don't get to sit around and watch the sunset tonight. I got to go unload a trailer, and it's more bicycle shop duties for me tonight. But, But Leon, it's been awesome hanging out with you, man. And this is the essence of life. I don't always want to be on the run. I want to be able to just chill.
This is it. Look at all the people walking on the beach, exercising. They just had that class down here. There's people just living the life outdoors.
Just saw my friend Michael. He stopped and talked to us, and he's been traveling all over the globe.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
wow, that was impressive.
A lot of globe travelers here, so I don't know. Mississippi's cool.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad. Well, enjoy the sunset, Leon.
I'm going to. See who else comes by that I know.
Right.
Might even put my chair out.
Life is good in Mississippi. Life is good with a van.
Yeah.
Thanks for the tour, Leon.
All right. See you later.
All right. If you guys like what we do on Bicycle Rider YouTube, just like and subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything, and it lets YouTube know that you're watching my channel. So I appreciate you guys hanging with me. See you in France.